Hello everyone and welcome to video 3 in the Shark Tank series. In this video I'm going to show you how to build an infographic. So you just finished running your suitability analysis and exported those layers. At this point we are going to get out of the Maps tab and we are going to go to Reports. So you can either run a report or build a report. We are going to build a report. And we're specifically going to build an infographic. So that actually gets you to this page, but you probably have that page instead because it starts off with your standard options. Now, as you see, there's a bunch of templates you can choose from. You're not going to use a tabular, so you don't have to worry about that. This is where your templates will be, anything shared with you, blank. But the one we're really going to look at is gallery. So these are pre-made templates that you can edit. This is what I recommend you do. If you want to start with a blank template because you really like designing things, awesome. You should absolutely do that. For the rest of us, so you can choose any of these that you want, but I'll show you a couple that are probably pretty useful. If you have 5 variables, this is a good one. If you have 10 variables, this is a good one. If you have 6 variables, we have this one. This could be 6 or 7 depending. I think there's... and then this one's really good if you have a number that isn't 6 or 5. So this is another good one to use. I had 6 variables when I was doing my example, so I'm going to go ahead and choose key facts 6-part circle. So you just click open. And then this is what the template looks like. Now we're going to start editing it. So these are things I learned just by clicking around. Initially, you can't edit any of these because there is a blank box on top of them. So you'll see when I click, there's box, and if I click that little X in the corner, now there is not a blank box and I can actually edit all of the text underneath. So you're going to find that box on every single one. And I think the reason they do this is so you don't accidentally move something, but you can't edit any of the text underneath unless you delete that box. So my suggestion, delete the box to start. So you need to change each of these variables from what they currently are to what variables you chose for your product. Now, just to let you know, these numbers associated with the variables are nonsense. In fact, some of them aren't going to make any sense if you read the little description. The numbers don't add up. So do not worry when you change these out if the numbers are absolutely ridiculous. It's just random data that it's pulling for an example. This is actually set up to pull your data when you run the infographic. All right, so I'll show you how to change one of these. So there are 3 text boxes here. There is the title, the actual value, which is the variable, and then a description. You need at minimum the title and the variable. If you want to include a description, you can. Usually these descriptions are actually including additional variables. So this is household, but then it also talks about a percentage of households that live below poverty and a percent of households that have more than $200,000 income. So you can delete that all together. I will show you an example of how you can use that. So we will go ahead and start with my variables. You may want to just have a list pulled up of what you used because it's not going to save them in the way that the other parts of Business Analyst saved them. So if you want to take a minute and go back to Maps, and we'll go ahead and open up one of our layers, specifically the Smart Map search. So I'm going to go here. Business Analyst in real time, guys. I think I'll try refreshing. I'm a little impatient. right, so back to our layers. Let's open up our smart map search. There we go. And we want to edit layer. Easiest way to get our list. Okay, so we had shopped at Hobby Lobby, ordered online craft supplies, spent on toys, games, crafts, and hobbies, attended adult education, did painting, drawing, and sculpting, ordered online Etsy, and shopped at Michael's. So these are still in my favorites, but I do need a list of them, so I'm just gonna go ahead and take a quick screenshot. I want to get them all on the screen, so if I drop my resolution a little bit, I can get that list. There's one. And there we go. Get the last three. Right, and I'm just going to take a minute and pull those up on a different screen so that I can look at them. You should probably have them already in a different tab. Bear with me. Okay, so I'm ready to go back to reports. I am going to build an infographic. I did not save my template, so I do have to find it again, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's my old template. So back to the gallery. There it is, the key facts part circle, 6-part circle. And delete the boxes again. So that's a valuable rule or a valuable lesson. Save, because this is not autosave like the rest of the program. So I'm just gonna save really quick this time. And I'm gonna change this name to Shark Tank example. Use the name of your product. And I'll now find this under my templates when I go looking for it. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the title. This little pencil icon indicates edit. So the first thing you do is click that, and then the second thing you have to do is click advanced text editing. And you'll notice this tiny little box right here is the editor. So all I have to do here is delete and type in 2026 shopped at Hobby Lobby store. And already you can see that this is much bigger than what it was before. In order to actually change the size of this box, I would need to save, and I would need to go back to edit, and then I can change the dimensions if I want. I feel like the width needs to be definitely longer. And notice how it changes on my screen. And we'll go ahead and go with that. We'll apply. There we go. So I have my title. The next thing I have to do is actually change my variable, because right now this number is representing 2026 total households. So I'm going to edit, style and field. I'm going to go to advanced text editing again. I say this all the time, but I did not design this software. And then we have to actually delete the current variable. You can tell it's a variable because it's in braces. Then find the variable you're looking for. Now notice you don't have favorites here, so you're gonna have to type it in, but that's why I have my list. So I'm just gonna type in Hobby Lobby. It's thinking about it. and I'll know the correct one because I put a star. Also make sure you're using the correct form. I don't want to count, I don't want a percentage, I want an index. So I click index, and then I have to drag into the box. And again, this number is meaningless, but now when I hover over it, it tells me that that is the correct variable. So I'm going to go ahead and press save. The formatting changed, unfortunately. So if I want to get that back, I'm going to have to go to editing, advanced text editing. The color's the same. Oop, wrong one. Careful clicking boxes. There we go. This one, advanced text editing. And I believe this was bolded. I think there was something else done to it too. I'm not quite sure. So I am going to go ahead and click on a different one to see if I can find that formatting. Yes, we do have a bold, center, center. Really doesn't appear to be anything else. So just to check, advanced text editing. Yep, that's everything. If I don't like the color, I can absolutely change it. Before I do that, we do have to get rid of this text. If you want to change it, you can. I'm gonna go ahead and change it to say, oh, it's so tiny. As far as I know, you can't make it bigger. So I'm gonna write an index value of 100 represents the national average. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and save. And I have now completely edited this one. I can move the boxes if I need to. If you click on a box, you can not use your arrows. You do have to drag. But it does do some good justification where it shows you like center, placement, and things like that. So there we go. Then other things I can edit, I can change the shape. Same idea. Oh, that's the icon. Edit shape. Okay, shape properties, you can see this color. So if I want to change my color, I can. And then I can also change this to match. Oh, that's not it. And it's gone. Maybe this one. Nope. You don't have to change the colors. Just up to you if you want to. That's how you do it. And then lastly, to change the icon, click Edit Shape. And then you want to change icon. You can look at shapes and icons. There's some cool ones. It may work for you, it may not. You can also browse for image. So if you have downloaded an image, say of the Michaels logo, oh right, this is Hobby Lobby. I'll have to use that for the next one. I did Michaels in my previous example, but you can add the image. So let's go through changing a variable one more time, and we'll do the Michaels one this time so it matches. Michaels is, just pulling up my variables. Shopped at Michaels last 3 months. Okay, so let's go ahead and change this one, advanced text editing. $2026 shopped at Michaels. Store 3 months. And then I'm going to do the same. I want to change the dimensions on this box, so I'm going to go ahead and click save. And I'm going to click edit, except this time I'm not going to do advanced text editing. I'm going to do dimensions, and I'm going to up this one. Try that. Nope, still not enough. There we go. That works. Lastly, or next, I'm going to change the variable. So edit style and field, edit, advanced text editing. Got to change my variable here. So remember, get rid of the brackets. I see the formatting, so I should be fine. This time I'm going to type in Michael's. There's my variable, so I'm going to change it to index. I'm going to drag. And I'm going to go ahead and save. Oh, I forgot to do the formatting again. All right, real quick. Advanced text editing. Bold. You will have to highlight it. Bold. And then I can also move it if I would like. Don't forget to either edit this text or delete it altogether. And then let's go ahead and change this icon. So change icon, browse for image, grab my Michael's logo. And I definitely chose the most unfortunate color to put that on. So let's go ahead and fix that because it is literally the same color. Edit. Come on. Yeah, these boxes can get annoying. Just patience is the key. Okay, let's see here. I just want to edit shape. Maybe. Shape, all right. The struggle is real. So let's just go with yellow. That's much better. Then I'm also going to remember to change this to match that yellow. Advanced text editing. Highlight it. Text color, yellow. Save. And there we go. So change your icons, use a label, whatever it is you want to do, and you can do that for all of these variables. You can have this statement about an index for each of them if you want. You can have a single statement about indexes, but I would say something about it somewhere. If you do that, just make sure to delete the rest of these boxes. Okay. Next thing is we're going to edit this title. So we're going to go to edit. And we are going to edit style and field. Advanced text editing. I want to show you what is called dynamic text. So my site name, 20-minute drive time. Those are the infographics settings. I'm going to go ahead and delete all of that and go to dynamic text. So you can do the report title, which it's just saying Esri infographic now because it'll actually pull the report. You can do the site name. So you definitely at least want your site name. If you have a site description or address, we don't because it's a whole county. And then you can also include any other information. Make sure you have at least your site name. You can then also do maybe the state or something else. You can have your name of your Shark Tank product. So you have to have that on there somewhere. I anchored the box. It does that. So I'm going to go ahead and add an element because I need my Shark Tank product name somewhere. So I'm going to add an element. I'm going to do text, a text box. Then I have to move my text box. Move the wrong text box. wait till you get the, thank you Grammarly. Wait till you get the little crosshairs. There we go, now it's gonna move. Get it central, oh my goodness. Why are we doing this? Just trying to move a box. Okay, it actually moved that time. Just stick with it. Advanced text editing. And then here I actually want to type in the name of my Shark Tank product. So I'm gonna write Shark Tank example. You really need to put the name of your product. That's very teeny. So I'm gonna go ahead and change the font size. I'm going to possibly change the color if I want to do that. I'm going to save. And then I need to change the dimensions, just like we did before. Let's go 400. Yeah, that'll work. Just kind of play around with it. And then, oh, want to move this box down a little bit. Okay. You do need to add a picture. So I'm just going to put this key facts back in the middle. I'm going to show you how to edit this. We're going to edit. If you want to keep text in there, you can. If you just want to delete it all together. And we're going to add elements, and this time we're going to do an image. And I'm just going to do shape and icon right now, but you need to browse for an image. We'll do an elephant. I'm going to edit my shape. I can change my dimensions. I can put a border on it if I want. Size is way too big. Then I can centrally locate it. Remember, you do have to have an image of your product either on your infographic or in your story map. I highly suggest you put it on your infographic at least somewhere. That is the main things you need to do to edit an infographic. If you would like to add additional variables, you can do that in text. You can add an infographic within the infographic. If you want to add, you should definitely add, or try a map. Sometimes it works well for this, sometimes it doesn't. It just depends on how zoomed in you are. Chart, just show you how to do that really quick. You do also have the option to add a map to the next step, which probably is a better choice, but I wanted to give you the option. All right, so this is a little time intensive, but let's say I want to show all the different education levels in a chart. Okay, so we're really looking at this little set right here. Less than 9th grade all the way up to bachelor and professional degree. So to make a chart, you click, you drag. And you get a bar at some point. There it goes. Then to add another one, you click, you drag, and then you have to click append to current, and it'll add it, and so on and so forth. You can do a vertical bar chart, a horizontal bar chart, all of these different options. If you have percentages, a ring chart or a pie chart are good examples. So you can play with that. I actually do like this for the overall, because if I just keep dragging these in and appending, I'm going to get all of the grades, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and click apply, and then I can add that somewhere. Obviously you're going to want to give it a title and all of the other things. You can resize it. there we go. Obviously that is no relevance to my project, but it might be relevant to yours. It looks like I accidentally added the same variable twice, so also be careful with that. And like I said, this is most of what you can do. If you have other questions, please put them in the troubleshooting and I will help as best I can. Don't forget to save. You should probably save more frequently than I did because remember, this is not autosave. And then this time you just click close. To find your template, it will be under My Templates. Again, just to remind you, these numbers are nonsense. It doesn't even tell you what site you're in, so do not worry about those. Just, this is only about design. And that's it for this video.